So for the next session, we will be talking about education for the next stage for AI in education. So we have our speaker and we have the moderator of our this time. So I would like to invite Dr. Akarit Sangpet, Director AI Engineering Institute and CMKL University. I would like to invite Dr. Chakapong Natvichai, Director Information Technology Service Center, Chiang Mai University. And also Dr. Panuakdet Suwanthat, Researcher Science, Technology and Innovation Policy Institute, KMUTT. And also Kun Chakrit Litthakananon, CEO of Canary. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. So this is some of the topics. So finally, we get to talk about education, right? After all these things, right? So just a few quick notes, right? So I mean, AII, we are the consortium of 9 universities across the countries. Currently, we take care of about 3,300 students in the AI field. So basically, if you go out there in Thailand, 9 out of 10 graduates from one of these universities, right? So that's why I've been honored to have our esteemed member from our members universities here, right? So first of all, I'd like to maybe be going for a round for introduction for each of you, right? So could you maybe tell us a little bit about what's your passion in education, what are you currently doing, right? And how you see things are going. I'm going to start with Professor Chakapong.
Good afternoon, I'm Chakapong. Basically, my training is like database systems, and then I work in the field of privacy data protection. And right now, I serve as the IT director of the Chiang Mai University. Thank you.
Hello, สวัสดีครับ My name is Mok Panuakdet Suwannathat. I work at King Mongkut University of Technology, Chonburi, Pangmot. But I live in Chiang Mai, the same as you. And we used to live in the same apartment, Dr. Akarit and I, and we work for the same company with with you for Canary. So great connection here. And I also help a few other organizations on AI education efforts, such as Chiang Mai University School of Lifelong Learning and IPST Institution for the Promotion of Teaching Science and Technology on AI curriculum for primary and secondary schools.
Okay, so my name is Thaw Shakrit. So I'm a CEO of Canary and also a co-founder of Canary. So Canary is an AI learning platform that I started with my friend since we are doing intern at CMKL. So our vision is like we want to apply an AI for like using in class and for education. So that's why we want to make something that meaningful for every student, not only just university students. So yeah.
All right, thanks everyone. So as you can see, in educations we are all connected. And actually, this is one of the field event we can bring competitors over, and we can actually talk. Right? We have like AMD, we have NVIDIA, right? We do have other companies, Aristas, and some of the technology vendors who actually support. Because at the end of the day, I think like we actually, in order to get it done, we need to work together. Right, and actually, like in order to really get it done, right, we could start from the ground up, the foundation of the education. So maybe I'd like to ask Mr. Panuakdet about your experience in developing the education curriculum and learning contents for primary and secondary school students who actually the sources of our students. Maybe you could tell us a little bit insight about that.
So the question is about the gap in AI education?
Well, I'd like to know about your experience and also the directions, and is there any gap in education of what we have in today? Because this morning we also see right that education has an issue.
So as the previous speaker from the previous session mentioned, AI is a great equalizer in the opportunity in education. Previously, if you were born rich to a rich parent, you can afford a tutor, personal tutor. But if you're poor in the rural area, then you stuck at school, at what the school gives you. And to find information is so very hard. Later, Google, Wikipedia came along and give you opportunity to search for information you need. But still, to get a personalized learning experience, it was difficult to get it. if you are not resource rich. But today, everyone is equal in that regard in terms of asking ChatGPT, asking Gemini about any questions you want to learn. But the challenge still exists. And I think the biggest challenge between the people who have great opportunity in education and people who lack opportunity is in terms of critical thinking. So I would say the biggest thing is the critical thinking part. That is the skill that is most needed nowadays. It's more than any technical skills. But if we're talking about technical skills, I would say that the skills about machine learning fundamentals, and I'm talking about the very basic fundamentals, like what is classification, what is clustering, how it works, what's the training data, something like that. It's very we look at them very superficially nowadays, because AI seems very natural, like just a chatbot. But people don't look at AI like, oh, machine learning, you need to find the training data and stuff like that anymore. So that's part of it. And lying beneath the surface would be computational thinking. And, oh, I'm not sure if we should go into the slide now, but we can do it later. But if you look at, I'm thinking about Andrew Ng, the great Andrew Ng, yes, who co-found so many advanced AI companies, previous Stanford professor. He said in all his companies, everyone who works at any of his company learn how to code. Not just the engineers, but also HR manager, also the receptionist. He recently produced a video interviewing his receptionist at his company, right? And how they can use AI with, how they can learn how to code with the help of AI, and how can that bring benefit to the understanding of everyone in the company to the product they're making.
So, right. So actually, I like to resonate that, because we have the foundations and critical thinking is quite important, right? So, and actually, I wonder, is that the same for higher educations? Or are we getting disrupted by AI these days? Or do we still need it? Do you still need faculty members? Right. So that's something I like to ask Professor Chakapong and see your opinion on that.
Can you show my slide, please? Okay. I think that, okay, maybe the slide is coming up. Oh, okay, they may need.
The other one, this one is mine.
Another one.
The other five.
Maybe the team needs coffee, right?
Yeah, the team needs coffee. It's a little bit in the afternoon.
Okay,
maybe
never mind.
Yeah.
I can answer it first, right? I think the main factor, the main issue about AI right now, of course, it has a beneficial, right? Like we become like you make it more equalizer or something like that. But I think that the critical thinking, I agree on that point, that is now more important than ever. That's my opinion. Because I can see the people in the front part of the room, you are not that young, right? It means that somehow you learn something before AI, right? And then when AI got your answer, now you can judge whether the answer is right or wrong, right? But what if the younger generation that don't really know what is the foundation, what is the basic, how can they make the judgment, right? And I think that one thing that can help on the critical thinking is not like learn what is critical thinking, right? I believe that to learn through the foundation, we're not going to learn coding because we want them to like hard coding anymore, but we learn how to code because that's the way they are trained. And at the end, they can use AI as a tool to make it more efficient. So that's my first thought about this.
But so at the end of the day, so how are the university dealing with the change or the shift, right? I mean, since you said the foundation is still important. So doesn't mean we should still teach the same way, right? But if we teach the same way, then the student use AI against us, right? And then we use AI against them to detect the AI that did the AI. So how do we actually doing this?
Can you make the slide coming up? Because I have the chart, one chart on that can explain. Okay, never mind. Meanwhile, it may coming up now. Let's say like this. I still think that AI is a great tool. It's like when we get like calculators before, right? In the past. I think now every programs in universities or maybe the lower level than that need to adopt AI into the curriculum. But not just like, let's say like AI those and AI this, but it's something like, for example, in the past, if you train radiologists in medical school, right, they're going to learn how can they look at the film, how can they learn how to diagnose whether problem with the lungs or something like that. But right now, I think maybe we can change, right? Now, I think we can continue the revolution of the education. Before AI, I think in Thailand we push a lot to ask the students to have the coding skill, right? That's computational skill, right? I think we can continue on that path, right? And then the radiologists might not be the one who write all the programs, but they need to understand how AI works in their field, right? How they, if they want to do some of the project with the AI, they need to have some background knowledge in order to communicate with people underneath the technical. That's my belief. That's why the curriculum need to adopt those kind of concept. And also to have the staff training could be very, very important as well. Thank you.
All right, talk about the concepts of the curriculums, right, and also the training of the staff, right? So, well, we've been hearing from the professors, the researchers, right? But I just like to hear from our students, right? So since you are familiar with some of the learning concepts that we're actually offering here with the AI programs, could you explain a little bit? We use the term competency based a lot. Right. I mean, so what can you explain? What's the competency-based learning approach? How is it different?
Yeah. So the competency-based that we learn at like CMKL is that we try to divide the subject into like each to a skill. So it doesn't require you to study all of the topic in that subject, but you must master each skill for the required mastery. So you can actually like mix and match between like each mastery to use in your own project or like onboarding project. For example, there's many student project here that some of them didn't finish some mastery, but they know quite a bit, so they can put it together and build down like any kind of project that the student needs to learn. So yeah.
Okay, so they got to learn not just the content, but also apply it.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, so get hands-on learning, get the skill
Yes.
on the job training while still learning. So I think that's important, right? Instead of just being in the lectures and hearing the questions and answer during the exams, right? But the issue is like you can only do that most of the time just because we are in university environment on the campus has the enough support system. What happened to the rest of us? Right, I mean, or even the staff trainings, right? How could you actually scale this kind of learning? Is there any way we can do with technologies?
Like, I think in my opinion, like the biggest challenge in the traditional classroom is that we usually put one teacher against like 40 students, and sometimes all the students cannot like keep up the pace with the sometimes even more in university, for example. They cannot keep up with the pace of the professor or like the teacher, and that's will like left some of the student out. And like I think an AI now is like a good tool to use in class, and we should embrace it more. And we're not scared of it, and like AI is like a good tool for a teacher and student to use and make like each student to understand the curriculum more or the topic that the teacher taught in class more. And yeah, that's also applied to the idea that we came up with the Canary also, that we want like an AI tutor that apply in the classroom or outside the classroom when they finish the class, so they can practice wherever they want. Yeah.
Okay, so you use the tool to help, right? But I mean, besides the tool, is there anything else? Is there like a policy we can do? I mean, I may just go another route here, right? Yeah. Because like the student wants something, the technology is one thing, the teacher skill familiarity is also another thing, right? I mean, in the future, right, in a very short one at that, how could we actually mix and match and combine all these things together and make sure it works for most of us? Probably not for everyone. It would be really tough, right? Well, I'm just going to go with Professor Jakapong first.
I think I would always say that for university level, right, we have like a lot of buildings, we have a lot of equipments, but I think the most valuable asset is people, right? We have the people in each domain, right? Of course, to let them be trained and be better adopt of AI, that's one thing. But another dimension is that AI still need domain expertise. And I think that's where our faculty staff can be valuable, right? They know that, because if you think about LLM at the moment, right, it's average machine, right? They are trained by something which is sound, right? And then they answer something which is sound. But I believe that innovation and the deep knowledge might not be all in there yet, right? That's why I think it's the time to ask for the adoption and change in terms of the faculties, both basic knowledge and also their domain expertise. How can we pull this kind of thing and make it benefit to all of the students and society?
I see. So we still kind of need it.
Hopefully.
Right? Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Okay, what do you think of Pinok? Right?
Okay. So what I think is we need to focus on is first of all, we need to focus on, in the era of AI, we need to focus on human, not just machines. Like when we hear about the effort to bring the effort to build the data centers in Thailand, I would say it's more important to build people, not just data centers. Building people for giving them skills for the long term, not just the superficial skills, will benefit them for a long time, even if the hype cycle comes and go, right? But the data centers can go out of date very quickly, right? When new technology comes along. But if we have people, we can stay for a long time. The next thing is that learn AI as a learning technology. We need to recognize that it has limitations. And it's important that as an organization and as students, they are aware of those limitations. And the limitations, I would say, those are features, not a bug, as computer scientists like to say. Because we can, as soon as we know the limitations, we can leverage the rest of the AI potential to bring great benefit to learning to everyone. And the last thing is that we hear a lot about, like in terms of policy area, that the leaders must encourage the use of AI, the learning of AI, give directions, very clear directions. I would say the more important thing is to encourage experiments in different directions, because this is giving. I heard a recent talk about the death of scaling law, right? And I think that will give us, as a small nation, a great opportunity in this area. Why? Scaling law is the belief that if we just use the techniques, the learning techniques that I don't know, Jeffrey Hinton, Ilya Sutskever, those godfathers of AI, thought of, like, just use the same techniques, but we put more like insane amount of compute in there. It will just be smarter we will build much better model, right? That's the scaling law. We don't need to come up with any new techniques. And if the world compete in that direction, we cannot compete as Thailand. We are not that resource rich. But now that comes to a ceiling, and now to break through that ceiling, we need a new smart technique, and that's an opportunity for Thailand, I think.
Well, so there's still something out there for us to do, right? So that's for the future generations, though. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask, like, you have the last thought, right, on Shakrit, on what do you think, right, about the future of AI and how our next generations can actually make a dent into this area.
So I think right now, like, we have a lot of, I think, new models coming up every day, and like students can use that to basically apply to anything that they dream of now. Like, there's a new, let's say, like the Gemini photo, the Neo Banana that generate the picture. So yeah, so there's like a new opportunity for students that they could not dream of before, but now in the future, we can use this technology to like build the not so hard project anymore to be much easier with this AI. Yeah.
Okay, so actually, like, your starting point is actually getting easier, but it
Yeah.
also means you have more options to explore, and
Yeah.
actually that's why we have event like this today, right? So we'd like to invite you to explore, connect with different people, see different topics, right? Not just the AI but the human side as well, right? So I think our time is up, right? So if you have any of the future questions, you can also ask our panelists later, right? And thank you so much. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you.